It was a meeting planned before the recent Rohingya crisis that sent more than 600,000 refugees from Rakhine State here, fleeing for their lives into Bangladesh. The crisis became the focus as foreign ministers and representatives from more than 50 European and Asian nations gathered in Myanmar's capital, Naypyidaw. As the leaders were wrapping up their final day of the two-day talks, Amnesty International unveiled a report on the plight of the Rohingya in Myanmar. After 2 years of research digging into the roots of how the Rohingya have lived in Myanmar, the human rights watchdog concluded it was apartheid-like. The author of the report told Al Jazeera the government's reasoning for the Rohingya treatment is not only unjustified, it's criminal.
In relation to the ongoing system of apartheid that we describe in our report, I think the world is way too willing to buy into the rhetoric presented by the Myanmar authorities about the need to combat terrorism, about the need to establish security, and that's why we felt it was a very important moment to remind both the Myanmar officials and their international counterparts that absolutely no considerations, be it security or the need to combat terrorism, can justify the ongoing crimes against humanity, to justify the system of apartheid.
And back at the foreign ministers meeting, Myanmar's leader Aung San Suu Kyi said that her government is working with Bangladesh on an agreement of repatriation for those who fled over the last 3 months. The Bangladeshi foreign minister will stay on after the meeting in Myanmar, continuing with the negotiations of repatriations, working toward a memo of understanding or MOU.
This is why we are going to be having bilateral discussions with your foreign minister tomorrow and the day after. And we hope that this will result in an MOU being signed quickly, which will enable us to start the safe and voluntary return of all those who have gone across the border.
It won't be an easy process, as many fled quickly as the violence escalated. They won't have the documents to prove they lived in Rakhine State. Many Rohingya villages were burned. Raising the question, if they are repatriated, what conditions will they face? And what are the guarantees that violence won't flare again? Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Yangon.